even if I touch a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need the pain. And life won't get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started to this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Subs. Final Form Subs is a supplement brand for everybody. If you need a multivitamin, I got multivitamins here. You need a multivitamin. If you need creatine, protein powder, organic bars of soap, if you need lifting gear, gym bag, you name it. You need stuff for your hair, your skin, your nails, beauty, personal care, all that stuff, gains, whatever you need, Final Form Subs has it. Go to finalformsubs.com. That's SUPPS, finalformsubs.com. Use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space. Get 10% off your order on supplements and personal care. Enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of Uncle Strib. Today I got a special guest, my buddy, my homeboy, my brother from another mother, Mr. Dominic Nelson. How we doing, Nelly?
Yeah. Salute. We heard. We live. We live, baby, yeah.
And Nelly, I believe this is the first time I've gotten you on the pod, right? Or did?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been on the pod.
Okay, bet. So with all my guests that I have on for the first time, especially with guys I've known for a long time, we go back to 2014, 10 years now. Why don't you start off and where are you from? And let's just start off where you from. We'll start there. We'll bring the story up to current day. Start off where you're from and what was it like growing up where you're from?
So I'm actually from East St. Louis, Illinois. And, a lot of people get confused with St. Louis is in Missouri, is in Illinois. It's two parts. You got a St. Louis, Missouri, and then you got the East St. Louis, Illinois. So I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois. Now, the difference is St. Louis is a big city. They got all the sports teams and all the big buildings and stuff like that. East St. Louis is much more like a town, so to speak, like a separate area or whatever. Two totally different cities, two totally different states. You know what I'm saying? So, like, upbringing-wise, like, I'm blessed. Parents were teachers when I was younger. Parents were teachers and elevated to other positions and stuff like that. So, two-parent home, big brother, big sister, you know what I'm saying? Almost like the Hustables a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Dad strict, mom on you, you know what I'm saying? Mom making sure clothes wash, dad out there being a breadwinner, mom out there getting her paper too, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Right. Watching my brother and sister examples. And in our house, athletics was kind of like the thing. So it was God, family, and athletics. So like, we went to church probably 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. Athletics wise, my sister played volleyball, ran track, and played basketball. My brother did football, basketball, track. I did football, basketball, track. My mom was a cheerleader. My dad was a basketball player. So like athletics was the thing. So like even from a young age, watching, it's 12 years between me and my brother and like 10 and a half between me and my sister. So growing up, all I seen was them playing sports. So I'm at the games, being a kid, shooting basketball in between, AAU games and stuff like that. Being a kid, so I was a gym rat. My dad was a basketball coach at the high school, and he coached elementary. He followed my brother. He coached elementary, and then went up to high school. My mom used to coach cheerleading and volleyball with my sister, so it was like,
this meeting is being recorded.
I was always in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm a gym rat. And it is what it is. So the crazy thing is, I didn't start playing organized sports till I was like in the 5th grade. And it was like basketball for maybe 2 months or whatever. But everything I know about athletics, I learned from being in the street, like playing outside on somebody's goal. You have to roll out there. Hey, it's the car coming. Everybody watch out. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. That and then recess where, we playing 21 and dudes is almost tackling you when you got game point. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I learned basketball and watching it, being in the gym with my brothers. And then football was kind of something I just really liked. You know, you can't get too much experience with that. We played Killer Man, which I think some people call Smear the Queer.
Right, back in
It's like,
back in the day, yeah.
And it's basically like, do whatever you got to do to make sure you don't get hurt. And if you get tackled, just throw it up in the air, somebody else catch it and score. So like my extent of organized football, it was go outside, go play. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So and I hated track. I used to love track with my brother because you know he was doing all the hard stuff. I didn't realize how hard it was to lose time for me to run. I'm like, oh, my heart about to explode. I quit. But no, like so that was athletics for me growing up, and basketball. I used to think I thought I was a hooper. You know, I could shoot. I could do just enough to get my shot off. I wasn't huge, so I think that was the thing. Like, I ended up being like 5'9", 5'10". I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna be the next LeBron. So, ended up playing football. My first organized taste of football was really the 8th grade, which is really late. And it was like, I want to be a receiver. It's like, nah, I was smart, so it's like, oh, my coach, Coach Michael Hill, I'll never forget. My middle school coach at Wavetta Young. So first of all, let me set the stage. So my parents, like nice two-family household. But the schools I went to, they was they was gutter. So I went to an elementary school called Dunbar. And basically Dunbar had East St. Louis is kind of a rough part. It's rough or whatever, but like just because it's a rough area don't mean it's bad people. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more so like family, but like it wasn't a lot of privilege. I put it like that. It wasn't a lot of resources. So I grew up around people who were underprivileged and kind of didn't have much. So it makes you appreciate kind of what you have. And then you look out for people because it's like family. Like if I don't got it, then you know, I got it, bro. You got it. You know what I'm saying? So in middle school, I went to probably the roughest middle school in the city, Wavetta Young. It was in Charlie Park, Washington Park, rough part, you know what I'm saying, drugs, you know, the normal ghetto, what they say on the movies, like, that was real. And it was like dudes that I was playing with, you know what I'm saying, my teammates and stuff, like, was really going through it. Like, some dudes was raising themselves, you know what I'm saying, going from house to house. Dudes wasn't eating, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And if you know me and my family, like, we real giving. So, like, you need this, cool. Like, you need a t-shirt, we got you. Like, you need to ride home, we got you. Like, you hungry? We got you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I was just being in that environment. It helped me navigate life, like, know how to talk to people, how to treat people, and don't judge people by, you know what I'm saying, what they going through, by their circumstance.
Right.
So, very rough part. But once again, like, I excelled in that. So it was like, I was comfortable in that. So, like, now when it comes to talking to people who may look a little rough or maybe what people call ghetto or underprivileged, like, I'm comfortable with it. Like, you know, it don't bother me. Like, yeah, he yelling cool. Like, but what's the message? Like, what is he saying? And then all black school, like, and some Hispanics. Like, my middle school had like 6, 7 buses of African Americans, and then like 2 buses was straight Hispanics. And they was going to Casey. Like, we all knew where they stayed in the mobile homes in Caseyville. One of my best friends in middle school was named Julio. Like, dude was like 6'2", 320. He could have played. I ain't even know nothing about O-lineman back then, but he could have played O-line somewhere. Teeth was like this. breath stank. I was like, ooh, Julio. That boy brushed his teeth with toilet water. But yeah, so that's what I was around constantly. And it just made me tough. Like, you know, I was small, but it definitely made me tough. Like, hey, wish I had the picture. I was the smallest dude on the team. I had to get my helmet from the Little League coaches. And because our helmets was yellow, mine was so small, they gave me a black helmet and they put like a little yellow penny over it. So it was like I had like a little, you know what I'm saying, a little wrap on.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So you talking about small beginnings, like literally small. And That was my middle school. I ended up starting quarterback 8th grade. Transferred to another school in that city, which was rough because it was one city, but everybody was like rivals. So it's like I had to learn some new people, whatever. So like I kind of know the whole city because I went to 2 different middle schools, only 3 middle schools in the city. So it's like, and then we played against the 3rd middle school. So it's like, okay, everybody know everybody. Kind of like a small town feel. High school, so I was smart. I got valedictorian in middle school. You know, a lot of people don't know that I'm a little smart. You know what I'm saying? I went to a private school my freshman year because my parents felt like it was the best opportunity for me to develop as a academician. Because, you know, athletic wise, it was like, you know, he's small, you know, he cool, but he ain't good. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no superstar now. So, but what really ended up happening, I went to the smaller school and I actually developed as an athlete and a person. A new school, didn't know anybody. We had college prep, St. Louis, Missouri. Had to wear a tie every day. Had to wear a sweater vest or a vest, like a sweater. It was real, like, you know what I'm saying, real preppy. Like Will Smith and Prince of Bel-Air type. You know what I'm saying? I was just different, though. So, like, I was the first dude to wear the tie super short. So, you know, normal ties be, like, down here.
Long,
I'm wearing my tie not like this. Big. So they start making rules like can't wear it. It got to be a certain length. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes weren't doing the stuff that I was doing. Like I'm different, but I'm not gonna change who I am. I just be standing out. Like I don't be trying to, just be different. So I was there for 2 years. In the middle of my junior year, I ended up transferring because of some other stuff. I don't want to get into that because it's messy. But I ended up going back to the high school that I was supposed to go to based on my middle school, which is East St. Louis Senior High. That's the school my brother went to. That's the school my sister went to. That's the school my dad taught and the principal at. And that's the school that he was the coach at. So, like, it all just came back full circle. And I ended up playing for the coach I wanted to play with. I always wanted to bleed orange and blue. I mean, still, like, when I was either a little kid, like, orange and blue was my favorite colors. You know how you be around something so much, you be like, man, why do I like this? You be like, well, you've been around it, yeah. Orange and blue. Like, East Side. Always been East Side Flyers. So I ended up I went in as a junior at the end of my junior year. So I ended up, I got all conference my junior year in Missouri. I got all conference in everything. So football, basketball, and track, and even made it to state in track and got like 4th or 5th in the 300 hurdles and lost to Zeke because he was a dog. When I say he was a dog, like,
Can you elaborate? I want people to understand what you said. Can you elaborate on who you're talking about when you say Zeke?
I'm talking about Ezekiel Elliott, the first round draft pick from Ohio State. He went to John Burroughs College Prep. When I say dog, like we heard a story my junior year, his senior year. He had 6 touchdowns in one half, and they say his jersey was spotless. But he was doing stuff like that in real life, like, you know, road to glory type stuff.
Right.
So he led the area in rushing yards and touchdowns for 4 years straight, I think. He got the state record for rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. In them 3 years, he just kept breaking his own record. Like, he was fake. Like, that was like some video game type stuff. And it was like, man, like, this is fake. So, come track season, the dude won the 100, the 200, the 110 hurdles, and the 300 hurdles. And if you don't know, the 200 and 300 hurdles almost back to back. And then the 100 and the 110 is really back to back. So it was like, this dude's a dog. Like, he need a muzzle on the leash. He out here killing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard to do. And he did that. Like, and he just dominated. Like, he was a different breed. Like, people be, you know, because what he doing in the pros, man, he's a dog. Like, dudes like that, that's a legend. Shout out to Zeke. And I raced him my whole time. I raced him like maybe 7, 8 times. Never beat him. I came close twice. I'm like, oh yeah, this is my day. He say, stop playing with me. I said, okay. Okay, you got it. For real, I thought I had him one time. He went 38-6. I went 39-1. I'm like, dang. That's the closest I got. That was it. That was my one chance. So then from there, I went to East St. Louis. All conference in football, all state honorable mention. Like it just all fell in place for me. As soon as I got there, I had to win the job. So like a lot of people don't know, like in football, it's much harder to win the job at quarterback because it's one spot. So play quarterback, I had to win the job. Crazy thing, I won the job at the Mizzou camp in the summer. And if anybody that's from the St. Louis or like Illinois, Missouri area, or even went to Mizzou, you know what they have like a local, not local, but they have like a team camp every year where you come with your team and you know y'all display y'all talents. Well, I ended up performing so well that I won a starting job from a dude who had been there for 4 years. And then I ended up getting the attention of Coach Ford, which is how I ended up at Mizzou. So it worked out for me.
Right.
I ended up having a good season, threw for like 3,000 yards, ran for 1,000. We ended up going to semis of state, losing 6-7 over some fluky stuff. But you know, football is football. Ran track, really didn't love track, so it was like I'm just trying to get to the season. Cool. I end up at Mizzou. You want me to keep going?
Now, real quick.
Okay.
I'm just letting you go. But real quick. So real quick, because we all know as collegiate athletes, at some point you realize college football is a option or it's a potential. Did you see that early on? Did it come late? And when did you know? Like when did you start to know that you could potentially do something with football?
So for me, it definitely came late because I thought I was a hooper. So like,
Right.
And I was a late bloomer too, that's the thing I want people to realize. Like sometimes being a late bloomer is a blessing in disguise. So a lot of dudes that I played with when I was younger, like they was a dog as a freshman, as an 8th grader, and they tapped out. Like he was like they capped out at like 15, 16. Me, I ended up blooming my sophomore year. That was my first start on varsity for basketball and football. And it was just like I just kept improving and improving. And I really don't even know how because back then it wasn't no trainers. Like you couldn't go get no skills training 5 days a week. I think what I did do though, like I was big on giving my teammates like, hey, let's go outside and work on something. Like let's go throw up, let's go do some footwork. I was big on that. Shout out to my boy Terry Husband. Like he would be down. Like I was like, come on, bro, where you at? Like let's go work out, in the common ground or in the park. We outside. I'm out here throwing. My mom can tell you like I don't know where I started this, but like my 10th grade year, I had found a tire on the side of the road, rode the tire to my backyard. I'm throwing at the tire in the backyard at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning on some movie type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I even know what I'm doing, but it's like, let me get some work. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy work ethic. And, that kind of helped me. Like, I still got that same little, like, hunger and work ethic now. And I think I realized the end of my sophomore year, like, it started to click for me. So my junior year, everything was kind of cake. Like, so even on varsity, like, at Cardinal Ritter, it was like, I probably, like, I'm making plays like, man, I really did that? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up now. And, like, dudes around me starting to gas me up a little bit, like, good game, Damo. Like, you doing your thing. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Cardinal Ritter was a small school, so, like, it kind of helped me focus. Like, it wasn't a lot of females in my face. It was just, like, I'm just locked in going week to week. And, like, that's when I finally started to see, like, people hating. But, people don't really hate for real when you just average. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't seeing no haters.
Yeah.
I started to see haters my junior year. Even grown people hating, like, dang, like, man, your son cool. You ain't got to hate on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all shining. But, like, I'm all shining their son, so they feel away. And then basketball was the same thing. Like, I wasn't supposed to be the leading scorer. But I was, like, and I wasn't, like, once again, I won 6'3", 6'4", 210. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", 150. you know how small we was when we came in. Like I was
Yeah.
little. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm getting a double and scoring 20, 27 points. Like, you know, I'm doing stuff that I don't look like I'm supposed to do. Like, that's one thing a lot of people say, like, you don't look like no athlete. I'm like, yeah, try me. Come find out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just like, it was fun. It wasn't no pressure, like, because back then, it wasn't social media. It wasn't as much. So you wasn't thinking about college for real. Like, you couldn't see the other offers dudes had. Usually, like, oh, like, such and such came and talked to me, cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hooping with a goal in mind. I think that's the benefit, and it kind of hurt of the times that we was in. Like, it wasn't social media, so no social media. I don't have hardly no clips. I don't have hardly no highlights. Like I heard of somebody on JV, nobody ever see that. Like it's no recollection that you gonna have to just take my word for it.
Right.
Stiff
Yeah.
on somebody and dove in the end zone, ain't no footage, so it didn't happen. But now like everything can be seen, good and bad. So it's like it's pros and cons to it. Like now dudes, like the dudes I coach now, they be so worried about other people's offers and stuff. Like they get in their own way. Like, no, just work, bro. And if it's meant to be, it'll find you, literally. So yeah, so that's what I realized it the end of my sophomore year. That was my first time making it to state and track, and that was my first time really making noise in the conference and everything.
Now,
And
before we get into college, was where our story begins as as a really close friends, or I would say the beginning of our brothership. Where do you think does that so that work ethic? I'm always curious. I always gravitate towards people with hard work ethics. I think that's one reason why me and you clicked almost day one. Literally, we clicked day one because I could sense that work ethic you had. You know, because both of us started from the bottom in terms of when we got there. We were both at the bottom
yeah,
of the depth chart or red shirted, however you want to look at it. So for you, because everybody's answer is a little different, but for you, where do you think that work ethic came from? Was it watching your parents as you were growing, or was it something you saw in like an athlete you watched growing up? Where did that wanting to be better, wanting to be the best, where does that come from? Because not everybody has it, and some people learn it, some people are born with it. But to you do you think that came from?
I think that hunger and like that fight, it's a combination of watching my brother and sister grind and see like, okay, like they locked in all year, like sport to sport to sport, locked in. My parents locked in, like they working, go to church, working, go to church. Like everybody, whatever you're doing, you all in. Whole family all in on whatever. Like if you an usher, you all in ushering. If you singing, you all in singing. Like, and for me, it was like my mom was going through a medical battle and she was all in. Like she was going through medical issues and you couldn't even tell. Like she didn't miss a game. She didn't miss a like she was always there to pick me up for practice. I'm hungry. She dropping off something to eat. Like she didn't miss nothing. So that hunger was like no excuses type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like not having was not an option. You know what I'm saying? Like don't nothing stop this show. If you got somewhere you got to be there. And if you're gonna be there, be there. You know what I'm saying? Don't be present in body and spirit. You know what I'm saying? So like I remember I had the flu one game. And, you know, people talk about MJ and 63 and man, that's hard when you gotta play with the flu and you live. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, man, this is tough, but it's like Mama said, can you walk? I said, yeah. Well, that means you can run. Let's go hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm out the house. We at the game. I showed up to school just long enough so I could play. You know what I'm saying? So like hunger like that, like I really could say it came from my family, but really my mom, she really got that hunger for sure. She a dog.
Yeah, that's good. It's cool to hear. It's cool to hear all those stories and where those come from. Now, progressing into your story, let's start Mizzou. Because I know for your recruiting process is a little different from mine, but start in the beginning and let's just go through that freshman year and then we'll go from there. How was your recruiting process to get to Mizzou? And then what was your experience? Because I want to hear just because we were both there. But what was
Yeah,
your experience like that red shirt year, that first year?
man. So my recruiting process, like I said, I caught Mizzou's attention at their camp, and Coach Ford kind of offered me, and he was like to play DB. And I'm like, you silly. I play quarterback. Thank you, but no thanks.
Right.
Then later on, my head coach was like, hey, like, he's back to see you. I'm like, okay, like, he's like, Nelly, it's Coach Ford.
Yeah.
Nelly, like, we love for you to come in and just come in and be an athlete. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and it's between them and Memphis, and Carbondale was like, you could play football, basketball, like, whatever, just come. I'm like, man, last second, Coach Odom told somebody that he was leaving Memphis. And when he said that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go to Mizzou. So I ended up coming down the first day of fall because I missed the summer. So I'm like, all right, cool. Came down there and, like, literally, man, you bonded right away. Because we was in a room, man, we was in a corner room that was hilarious. A lot of characters. You talking about KD,
Man.
DJ, Amp, JG. Like, on my first day down there, JG got it. Rest in peace, JG.
Yeah.
JG got into it with Coach Ford and walked out the meeting. And I'm like, hold up, like
What's going on?
Yeah, like this normal. Where am I? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But I realized they had that relationship. Like when you really care and you bonded with people, like when they piss you off, they piss you off.
You're right.
So like, and the thing is, like next day, like they have the next day, like 3 hours later, they was back cool. I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
I guess they got that relationship or whatever. But freshman year was definitely, you felt the love from everybody, whether they was a 5-year senior or a freshman on campus, like, and then gun club. Oh my god,
boy,
gun club. Oh my god,
the Cavs,
had us doing stuff I thought I
will
could never
know.
do. Yeah, yeah. Nobody will know. Nobody will ever be able to know, describe, articulate, or express the type of stuff that we went through during gun club. And the crazy thing is, gun club actually made us better men. And it was crazy to think about, but shout out to Pat Ivy because he had us doing some stuff. I was like, how you come up with this? Like the Halloween thing where we running around and they fire hosing us with the lights off, with the little stroke lights going. Like it was fun, but it's like, how he come up with that? Like the time where we was working on time management because people was coming to class late. So he kept making us get dressed and get back in our workout clothes. Wash your hands, come back.
Wash your hands, come back.
Yeah.
You got 45 seconds.
Exactly. No, teaching us life lessons, but doing it like in a football setting was crazy. And like I tell people all the time, like football really is a microcosm of life, like ups and downs, peaks and valleys, weathering the storm, navigating your emotions, and still getting the job done in spite of how you feel. Like that's stuff that people struggle with in life, but it's like football can teach you that if you let it.
Right.
Like meeting new people, like, bro, like I met you. You from Thompson Station, like.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, let's know Thompson Station, baby.
Yeah, you said shout out to the 615.
Southside Nashville,
like,
baby.
Never even met nobody from there. Like, never met nobody from Kansas City. Like, I grew up in an all-black school district. Most of my teammates was white. So it's like I had to learn how to speak to them. Like, good thing I was like a cool dude. Like, I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in college, like, talking to white women, like figuring it out, talking to old white men, figuring it out, like, you know what I'm saying, like professors and stuff like that, like just learning on the fly. But it's really just life. Like it ain't no guides and can't nobody write no book about how to live life. Like you just got to live yours, and you figure it out as you go. What you good at, be good at. What you bad at, be better at. You know what I'm saying? Literally. So it was like we all figured it out. Like I'll never forget, bro. Like Gun Club had us doing the Green Mile, like the campus tour.
Bro,
like, the one day I got the shorts with no pockets. Now we got to carry the water bottle and a plate. Like, God, why you do me like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy having to depend on other people to do right because people ain't want to do the Tiger Jacks. I'm like, come on, bro. Shout out to Kendall. I'm like, bro, just do the Tiger Jacks, bro, with some enthusiasm, please. You know what I'm saying? But
shout out
Kendall, bro. Yeah. Like, so it was like, and then like we end up making like real brothers out of that. Like people come
Yeah.
in and out your life. We had dudes leave and transfer in. Shout out to E. Transfer in, dudes transfer out. You know, made some brothers, lost some brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that's just life. We figured it out, and it was fun, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah. Looking back on it, it was probably some of the I think specifically my freshman year, our freshman year, that redshirt year, was probably my out of all the years, probably the most fun. It was like it was almost like the worst year, but the best year at the same time. The gun club, because people don't know gun club. What time we waking up?
Bro, like 5.
Monday
And
through
we
Friday.
stayed, yeah, we stayed on campus too. So it was like dudes waking up at 4:50, like, oh,
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Let them.
like that
You gotta.
happened.
Hey, just to clarify, people listening and watching, you gotta be on the field ready to go at 5.
Yeah, like shirt
So you
on.
waking up at 4:30 Monday through Friday while you got class, you got practice later that day, you got study hall, you got mandatory meetings.
Everything.
Monday,
Mentoring.
Monday through Friday, the entire semester.
Bro,
Now,
I ain't never ran so many red lights on foot in my life. Them lights, not waiting on no lights. Jaywalking,
oh
not
no,
even jaywalking, jay running. Like,
oh
man, if
yeah,
I get hit, I get hit. At least I got an excuse.
right. Because if you show up late, everybody late.
Man, I'm still
So
mad
that
at Wingo for not showing up to that one workout.
we had all the up downs, like 200
Man, we did
something.
like 300.
Yeah, ooh, wow. But getting a little off tangent a little bit from the football aspect, I get asked this question a lot of the time. Do you think, because I know for me personally, well, I'll ask the question, I'll answer my short answer real quick, but I get asked a lot of the time is, do you think freshmen should have to stay on campus their first year? Because some universities, at least for student athletes, some universities it's a rule. Like with us, it was a rule. Some universities you don't have to. And my answer is, at least for me personally, I say yes, because that was what I believe what made our class different and the bond that we had with our class is like me, you, Paul, Kendall, Kev, Yee,
Grant.
everybody, right? Grant, everybody in that group is because we were on campus. We had to deal with the BS together, and we really bonded, and that
Yeah.
chemistry showed within our class. So I say yes. What do you think about having freshmen stay on campus for at least that first year?
I think, bro, personally, it's a yes for me because first of all, it makes you bond with your teammates. Even if you don't like them, you figure out that you don't like them. And if you come like, oh, we got things in common, like cool. Like you got teammates, you end up trusting people that you don't know. Second thing is it puts you closer to all your classes and the facilities. So like you literally have no excuse. It eliminates excuses. Like you don't have a ride and stuff like that. No, you just walk. Builds
Right.
character. It forces you to interact with the other sports on campus and even
Mm,
other students on campus. Because if you off campus, it's a good chance like you could be staying next to a family that don't even got nothing to do with the school. You know what I'm saying? Like it forces you to interact with other people. So you might meet somebody that's in a frat. You might meet somebody that got the same major. You know what I'm saying? Anything.
the
Like, but
networking.
you'll miss out if you off campus. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What else? Man, I think and it also eliminates people having to look for you. So like for us, like if somebody wasn't at they dorm, like you know for a fact, oh, they off campus. But if they off
Right.
campus, like you can't, they could be anywhere. And you know, Como's
Right.
10 minutes big, so ain't no telling. But if they, if we all out of dorm, like we knew for a fact, like, all right, such and such looking for Kev. Well, Kev not in there, but his roommate right here, like, where Kev said he was going. Oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew where
Right.
dudes was kind of at or whatever, and you could be found. And then you could also discourage, like, it could discourage risky behavior, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because of the what are the RAs and stuff.
Yeah,
So
the
you have
RAs
somebody
and just
watching you a little bit.
yeah, and just other eyes being on you. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, that was a big plus of being on campus. Like it forced you to almost act right.
Yeah, cameras in the dorm halls and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So now, moving on, which let's go to so that our first year there, SEC East champs, exciting time.
So lucky.
But
So lucky. We didn't do
oh
nothing.
boy, red shirts, we was on cloud nine. We
Yeah.
reaping all the benefits. Well, we was scout
We
team. You know,
we
we
did
helped
work.
out.
We did work. No pressure though. It was no pressure. I say that.
Yeah, scout team. You know what I'm saying? But so kind of speeding up a little bit because I also want to get to where you currently are, and then kind of things that happen post collegiate. What would you say your overall experience, or maybe some things that happened during your time at Mizzou that you want to talk about in terms of your personal collegiate experience? Because I mean, you know me, well, really all of us in the group got some stuff to say. But
Yeah, we do got
for
definitely.
you for you personally, how would you lay out your experiences in at Mizzou or college football in general?
I feel like we kind of we reaped the benefits, good and bad, of just the circumstances of stuff we couldn't control. So first year we won and didn't contribute at all. We was the scout team. Second year, a lot of stuff happened we couldn't control, which ended up putting us in a situation the next year where we had to get a new coach, and then kind of like the growing pains of having a first time head coach at the college level,
Mm-hmm.
and we we kind of just reaped that. I don't want to say consequences. It was just a cause and effect. We were just really just bystanders, and I don't want to say victims, but just we were just a part of stuff we had no control over. Like we didn't come here to play for such and such, or we didn't come here to be in this situation, but this is what the hand we was dealt. And I think our class did a good job of just rolling with it. Like, all right, this
Yeah,
ain't the coach who recruited me, but I'm gonna give them all I got because that's what I'm supposed to do.
right.
Like, I ain't get a fresh shake at this, but you know what I'm saying? Whatever position they put me in, I'ma just ball out and just give all I got and encourage my teammates. That was the type of class that we had, like whether good or bad, like we're gonna encourage one another and just make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why we ended up being probably the most productive class out of the times that we were there, even though it didn't equate to wins. We kind of like we didn't have a lot of crash outs. Like everybody ended up falling on their feet, so to speak,
Right.
because we were just. I mean, the situation we in built character, like literally built character. Like first year, great. Second year, yeah. Third year, bad. Fourth year, it was bad, and then got really good at the end. Because I
Right.
mean, we were fighters. And then the last year was good. Should have been great.
Right.
So it was like I said, it was like life was like we saw our mistakes and everything. Hold up, Finis. My phone about to die. Let me put on the charger for like 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right. We got through some technical difficulties, but moving on. So I want you to talk about after Mizzou. You know, we went through some things out of our control. I mean, a lot of guys they would say it's the best experience, but it was a good experience overall, and we used those at least. You know, me, you guys that we know used Mizzou as a resource to get where we are today. So, what was life? What was Nelly's life like shortly after graduating from Mizzou?
Well, and it's funny. For a lot of us, we graduated in 18, but wasn't done till 19. I think we all graduated in that spring of 18. And then in the fall, still or the summertime still had like one class left or whatever. Cool. So like we went through the last season and that was what it was. But after that, we all started preparing for Pro Day. And I think Pro Day was when like, you start weighing your options. So for me it was kind of great, like, okay, like what am I gonna do? Like through my internships, like I knew I didn't want to be a athletic trainer because it wasn't what I thought it was. And being an athletic trainer, I seen how some of the dudes on our team treated them. I'm like, no, they couldn't. I couldn't do that because I've been to call the case.
Right.
Dudes on our team was ignorant. But afterwards, we all started training, and I think that's when we realized, like, oh man, like I wish we did this type of training our whole career. Like we all got faster, we got stronger. We saw results like within months. And I think we
Right.
all had a great pro day. That was the thing. Like we all went crazy for our pro day. And that was the thing. Like if social media was bigger then, like we would have, somebody would have went viral. You would have went viral. Like your pro day was insane. You went like 4-3, jumped crazy far, jumped crazy high. Shuttle was 3-9 or something like that. Like L drill was like a 6-6. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. Like that went viral. You know what I'm saying? But social media wasn't as prevalent as it was. So like it was just like you had to be there type stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And after that, it was real simple. Like I ended up getting an email like a week after that. So that's crazy. We went on our trip to San Antonio. I think the same
That's right.
weekend. And that's like that was super fun. You know, I'm like, man,
Yeah.
where are the black people at? Matter of fact, hold up. Where are all the white people at? And that was an
Right.
interesting
Yeah.
experience. And we was like, yeah, it was fun though. Like me, you, and Tavon really bonded over that trip. And you stayed out there. I'm like, man, he bold. Like I couldn't do that. But you know, you always been like the black sheep. Like we going left, like, nah, I'm going right. Like we going here, like, yeah, no, I ain't going.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, find his own person. We're like, cool. So I got an email a week later from Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a CFL team, and it was their assistant general manager. He's like, yeah, come to a workout, blase, blase. Like, nobody really prepared us for dealing with stuff like that. It was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going. You know what I'm saying? It happened to be in Atlanta. That workout happened to be in Atlanta, and that was funny because I went to Atlanta. I didn't tell nobody I was going except for people in our group probably. And I end up going there and seeing Therese Hall. Shout out to Therese. Shout out to you better stop that junk.
Shout out to Rez.
Yeah, and he ended up being at the same field I was at, and like actually seeing me work out and stuff. He's like, man, like you better than all these dudes. I'm like, well, yeah, was I? Yeah, I think I was, huh? And it was a good experience. They ended up calling me to the emergency squad. I was supposed to go out there, and then COVID hit. So it was like, yeah, I ain't going. And back then, like, we didn't even know what COVID was for real. We just like, man, I ain't messing with it. This is like some stuff off a movie. All I could think about was Planet of the Apes. When dude coughed and started bleeding in the airplane, or the airport, and it just spread. That's all I kept thinking about. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna risk it. Like, I'll do something else. And I ended up training athletes at this facility called Elite Performance. Shout out to Elite. Shout out to Matt Berman. And I was working out, and from the workout, it was like they needed a DB trainer. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I come do it like I ain't doing nothing else. So I was substitute teaching for my mom and doing that. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is a nice little gig, you know what I'm saying? Got it too. I was like, hold up. I like this. You know what I'm saying? Did that for a while. Then I started training wideouts. And come to learn, like, the footwork is very, very similar. And it's easier to train wideouts because I know what the DBs are trying to do. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, chess versus checkers. Like, I know what they're trying to do. He's trying to keep his leverage. So you defeat his leverage. You know what I'm saying? Like, just thinking a game off for dudes. And it was fun. I ended up loving it. And I ended up doing it almost full time because schools had stopped being a session. So I was training full time in 2019, 2020. And when I say it was like the best of times, like I was there literally like Marvin Burks, Fredro Moore, like they can vouch. I was there from sun up to sundown, like 9 to almost 9. I was there. Shout out to Jeremiah McCullum. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was there with dudes who actually wanted to work. And it's good to see those dudes, like their work paid off. Like Frederick Moore is at Michigan. He's a receiver. He's going to end up starting. Marvin Burks is a DB. at Mizzou. He's gonna end up starting. Jeremiah McCullum, he just spent his first spring at Oregon. Like, he's gonna end up starting and being a guy for them eventually. You know what I'm saying? Dudes like that put in work during COVID and it's just not paying off. So like if this really what you want to do, you gotta put the work in years in advance. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just like a car. Like if you can't buy the car outright, you gotta make payments on that mug months in advance before you actually own it. You know what I'm saying? Some people got the 36-month loan. You know what I'm saying? Some people got the 84 month. But whatever it is, if you put in the time and you work and pay it off, like if you pay and put that time in, you're gonna end up getting what you want eventually. So that's why I like training. Like it brings me joy to see dudes get better and better each day. And so after that, I ended up actually leaving in 21 and playing some minor league football out on the West Coast in Utah. And it was just an experience where I got to learn a lot about me. Away from home in Utah, Salt Lake City, got to see some things, you know what I'm saying? And like they treated me amazing. And I actually got to learn, like, man, like it's a whole different world out here. You know what I'm saying? Like closer to Cali, like people just live different, you know what I'm saying? Different perspectives. And it was fun for like 5 or 6 months I was out there. It was fun. Like I woke up every morning, look out the window, I go to mountains. It's like, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was just ridiculous. See the ski slopes and everything, like just living life. Like didn't pay for nothing, got paid every game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have no issues for real. Learned some new people, had fun, got some film, like got the jersey. I don't got the jersey up in here. But yeah, like I got the jersey and everything. Like it was fun. Came back, I think towards the end of the summer. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm here, I'm working. I was like, I'm training. And like my name had kind of grew a little bit, so I'm training more athletes. And I'm like, I went to a football game for one of my athletes, and they was playing my old high school, East St. Louis. After the game, you know what I'm saying? Eastside won, of course. And I'm at the game, and my head coach is like, hey, Nelly, like, it's great to see you. Like, come by the school anytime, blase, blase. I'm like, cool. Like, I'm going to go by. You know what I'm saying? Just visit. I go by one time turned to two times turned into I'm on the staff.
How'd that happen?
Man, so it was like I was just, we got a trained eye. So like on the college level, we're seeing stuff differently than the average person. So like I'm catching like leverage mistakes, dudes line up wrong, just being helpful any way I can. You know how I am. I'm gonna help any way I can. And it ended up being like that. Ended up just being my title for that year, like the Swiss Army knife, like whatever we need, like. They don't catch it, I catch it, say something to the dude. You know what I'm saying? Just building relationships. Like I'm really good with people. I think I am. Really great with people. So learning the kids, just showing them my care, you know what I'm saying, and being an ear for them, and also being like, that voice of truth, like, hey bro, like, you better come on, like we need you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was a great experience. Like I ended up coaching on that team. Dudes like Luther Burden, he the #1 receiver. In this next draft class coming up, Toriano Pride, he's going to start for Mizzou. You know what I'm saying? Miles McVay, he's at Bama. He's going to end up starting. Paris Patterson, he's at Arkansas. Brandon Henderson, he's at Illinois. Antoine Hayden, he's at Illinois. Kiki Hayden, he's at Central Michigan. Like a whole bunch of D1 dudes on that team, and those are my boys. Like, they're my little bros. You know what I'm saying? And it's like just built that relationship with them, and it's crazy to see where they are now. Like, they making arguably more money than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's insane. And it's like it was just a great experience just to help out. And then I ended up being like the QB coach and signal caller the next year. And it was just for me, all in. So it's like I'm full time with it. Training and coaching. Wake up 6:30. By the time I get home, 9:30, 10 o'clock. That'd be my life for like 3 days out of the week. And just continue to develop guys. Like I said, Jeremiah just went to Oregon. His brother just got his second offer at K-State today. Corey Sims, he got offers from USC and a whole bunch of other schools. You know what I'm saying? Dudes actually reaping the benefits of their hard work, and I get to see it every day. Even my young dudes, they're freshmen, and they just got an offer today from Miami of Ohio. So it's like it's rewarding to see people put in work and reap the benefits. You know what I'm saying, for them hours that they put in that nobody saw. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody
Right.
seen them wake up and not want to go, and nobody seen him get hurt, break his ankle, come back. Nobody seen him, you know what I'm saying, do all of this stuff, get cussed out, pushed down, overlooked, and now to see them reap the benefits, that's rewarding to me as their trainer and coach. And really, big brother, like, see, this is what it's all for. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, it's gonna happen for you. Because one thing I do know, like people who put the work in, they get the results they want. Because it's really just a reap what you sow type of thing. Like anything in life. Like if you mean to people, people mean to you. You good to people, people good to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you water the plant, it'll grow. You know, just simple, like the simple principles of life, but
Mm-hmm.
they apply to everything. So yeah.
And so is that what you're currently doing now with the training and the coaching?
Yeah. So I
The same
train,
stuff?
coach, and teach. So like literally a full, like the coaching part is a full-time job. Like I could go home, like we could literally get off this call and I still get a call at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Like, coach, what I got in snag? Or like, coach, can you make me a protein shake tomorrow? Or coach, like, it's almost like I'm a dad, brother, coach,
Right.
uncle, yeah, all at once, all the time. And it's a great feeling. Like, you know, there's no better feeling, you know, and it's just hard on a real personal note, it's hard trying to balance that and also have some type of social life or love
Mm-hmm.
life. Like it's hard because it's like ain't nobody our age trying to compete with no boys. Like they not like I done had so many girls say, "Man, F them kids," and I'll be like, "Nah, you got to you got to chill." You know what I'm saying? And they say it
Right.
and they really mean it, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I can't mess with you. Like
Right.
this ain't
Yeah.
gonna work." Because I love these boys. Like I got two of my little bros go to Purdue. Like I've fed them, like took them on trips, like everything. Like these, like my family for real. So it's like they could call me now.
Right.
Like I need you, Nelly. I'm driving 3 hours to make it happen, whatever they need. Like I literally did
Yeah.
that like a month ago for one of my little bros. Like he having an emergency at the crib. Here I go. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
going. Like it ain't no arguing or debating. Like I'm there for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they last name Nelson. That's really how I treat them. Every dude I coach and train, I treat them like they last name on the back of their jersey say Nelson. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's how I feel like that's the only way you can be a good coach is if you treat them like that.
It's funny you say that because I saw that quality in you when we were in college. Because which is one reason why I generally try to gravitate to people I think are genuine people, and my type of people are loyal, ride or die people, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny you say like you there for him, with just because anytime I needed something, Nelly, bro, yada yada yada. So all right, bro, I'm on my way. Like even from
Yeah.
the jump, that's and it's great to hear from you that you've taken that aspect, you've really poured into these guys, and you're really giving back to those guys. I mean, I just love to hear it. I love to hear it. I have two more things for before we wrap it up. One, this first one, what does brick by brick mean?
So it's crazy. I'm not even sure how it came to me, but of course it came to me through God or whatever. You know what I'm saying? God gave it to me, but it really was just we was working out. I'm like, man, we building, we building, we building. And one of the boys was like, yeah, brick by brick, we building. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just, I want to say the summer of last year. I'm like, yeah, we brick by brick, we building. And like, it morphed, you know what I'm saying? Thought about it, randomly here, brick by brick. I was like, oh, that'd be cute if my niece said it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she added the Uncle Nick part. So like my sister recorded it like, brick by brick, Uncle Nick, put the audio on it. sound good. It's like, okay, that's so cute. Look at Boo Butt. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And added, then it kept growing. Then I got a logo. So people's like, you need shirts, you need this and that. I'm like, man, nah, I'm just gonna train and just train. You know what I'm saying? But now the
Right.
way it is, like you gotta market. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, like people want shirts. I trained in a shirt that said brick by brick, built to win. And now everybody I train, they want that shirt. Like, all right, cool, let's do that. I'm looking at it like, it's cool, but it ain't me. I'm gonna wear something different. So then we branched off. We got the Bree by B with the
Hold
brick.
up, hold
You know
up.
what I'm saying?
Put it down. But there you go. Yeah, show them the
Yeah,
logo.
the brick by brick with the bricks inside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just morphing and shout out to my sister. With Phenomenal Creations, like she made the logos and then actually put it on my hats, my shirts. Like I got beanies, I got everything. But you know what I'm saying? But like the marketing aspect is something I got to get better at because we grew up in a generation was like, nigga, don't post it. Like just work out in silence. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
Like
don't flash
silent,
it. Don't.
yeah, silent moves, nigga, silent moves.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody you working. Catch them off guard when the season comes. But now this generation is, if we don't see it, it ain't happening. So like, if you ain't working
Yeah.
out, if I don't see you working out, you ain't going live or posting no videos, then
You
you
ain't
don't
doing it.
care. Yeah,
You
you
don't
ain't
work.
doing it for real. Yeah,
Yeah.
so now it's like, well, I gotta record every workout now so dudes can post it. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm posting them. You know what I'm saying? So now, and that's the crazy part. Like half the dudes I train just be from like they see a dude work out, they see the video and be like, I want to be in one of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they feel like
Yeah.
they're part of something bigger than themselves. Because really, that's the crazy part about my training sessions. Like, it's not just me that makes it what it is. It's the environment. So it's the boys, it's the camaraderie, it's the accountability. And the crazy part is it be the dads too. Like the dads be in on it. Like, yeah, come on, you gotta catch that. Like, yeah, come on, like trolling and having
Yeah.
fun. You know what I'm saying? Like it be fun. Like one of my videos, probably my most famous video was the one where Isaac's dad, shout out to DJ. Heavy set gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Love him to death. Like that's like my brother. He involved, like he training them like he me. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
out there, he pulling them rubber band, they trying to catch it, like he trying to deflect it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like interactive. Like you can't come to my training and not want to be a part of it. And that's how I
Right.
want it to feel like when they watch the video, I want you to see the video and want to be a part. And not for me, but for you. So whatever you want to do, if you want to be the best running back, receiver, DB, linebacker, anything, you should be able to come to Elite Performance Academy or wherever we at, work out, train, and get better for that day, that month, or that year, and feel proud about yourself. And then, hold your head high and be happy about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's gonna lead us into my last question. And you've kind of already kind of said it, but what's for you, what's your motivation? What's your day-to-day motivation and why Nelly does what Nelly does?
I think my biggest why and motivation is seeing kids being able to do or surpass what I did.
Mm.
So I think, and I think I learned this from my brother and my dad. My dad wanted his sons to outdo him, and my brother wanted me to outdo him. And not even a competitive way, but in a like, I want you to be better than I was, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want these young dudes to learn from my experiences, so they don't have to go through the same stuff that we had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
well, I'm teaching them about the recruiting process, which is huge now. Like, you know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you like the coach, but first of all, is that coach gonna take you with him if he hits the portal and decide he won't take another job? Do you love the locker room? Do you love the city? Because what the biggest thing I tell them is like our biggest thing that we loved at Mizzou was the locker room, like hands down. Like it wasn't a facility. The winning was cool, you know what I'm saying? But everybody, you can win anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like the city was cool, you know what I'm saying? The fans was all right. But that locker room was our heart and soul. Like
Yeah.
you can have a messed up day, come to that locker room, no telling what you might see, and your day you forget that you was mad. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
all type of stuff. Like if we had recorded the stuff that went on in that locker room, like we would have went viral. Like daily, like not just on
We'd have
one
gone
video, but
viral.
like
We'd have gone viral and got canceled in the same moment.
yeah, exactly. And then got reinstated next week later because we did something that was crazy funny. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Yeah.
just we had so much personality in that locker room. It made you want to love not just the game, but the dudes you was playing with.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like we can all still call most of them dudes and be like, "Hey, bro, you remember this time?" Or "Hey, bro, remember that time?" Like crazy thing. I seen Alec. Shout out to Alec. He at the University of Tennessee, tight end
Mm-hmm.
coach. Shout out to KP. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And Coach Hyper. Seeing him today, he came by the school, and like me and him have a bond. Not because we went to the same high school, not because we come from the same street or city, but because we shared the same locker room. So we got similar stories, and we got a bond. Like I'll go to war for him, he'll go to war for me, and I know what type of man he is, and he knows what type of man I am. So I'm not gonna just point him in the wrong direction. I'm gonna give him the real because at the end of the day, that's my brother. He can be pink, yellow, red, or whatever. That's my brother. It don't have to say Nelson on the back. It say Nelson in here. I felt that.
Yeah.
But no, that's my boy. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
that
So it's like
okay.
every time I see
Preach.
him, he
Go ahead and
smiled.
preach then.
You know what I'm saying? He smiled, but it's like, that's my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Alex,
Yeah.
what's up, bro? You good? Who you couldn't see? Oh, okay. You going somewhere else? You want to see this kid too? Oh, he cool. He all right. He decent. He is still. Y'all need to look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like giving him advice as if he was me because
Right.
that's my boy. But it all came from the relationship that we built in the locker room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because in the locker room, bro, you sit on that dirty couch. God, that couch was filthy. You sit on that couch, and he could have had a hard day. And I was gonna sit next to him like, bro, you all right? Talk to him, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like we built brotherhoods in that locker room with that filthy couch and that dirty carpet. That Eli never cleaned. He
Boy.
vacuumed the same spot for 7 minutes. Like, dude, if you blocking the TV, move.
Oh man. All right, Nelly. Last thing before we get out. What's give one piece of advice that you found helpful or that you're living by right now that you want to give to people as like a signing off.
And it's crazy. Shout out to Dominic Cross. Control what you can control. So a lot of stuff is going on in everybody's life, athlete or not, you know what I'm saying, whatever capacity. Control what you can control. So you can control your emotions, but you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. So it's like I tell my boys, some stuff don't deserve a reaction. If it's outlandish, I'm not even going to acknowledge it because it don't deserve my attention. And shout out to Fallon. I met her. She said, if it won't bother you in 5 years, don't give it 5 seconds.
Mm.
So don't let nothing bother you more than 5 seconds if it's not going to essentially affect you in the long run. What people might say, what people might try to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that, like, we can hold on to stuff. And that's why people seem like they can't be happy. Because you're
Right.
holding on to this and holding on to that. Let go and just live in the now. Shout out to Coach Ivy. Right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
With a Saigon squad.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we just gotta learn to live and let stuff go. And if it's not gonna affect me, okay, cool. Like I had a bad day, all right. Talk it up, learn from it, and let's go to the next day. Like next play mentality.
Hey, y'all heard it here first. Nelly, I appreciate you for hopping on, my brother.
It's all
And,
love. You know I love you, bro.
Hey, love you too, dog, man. Excited to see how things keep going brick by brick. And
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but we good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard it here. Dominic Nelson, I appreciate you.
Shout out to y'all, love y'all. There's no us without you.
I'm gonna chase my dreams.